Hey gamers, welcome to the Part-Time Gamers Club, where we game part-time but support gaming all the time. For those of you tuning back in, make sure to drop a like and subscribe. And if it's your first time here, welcome to the crew. I'm Gio, alongside me is Gerard and Mike. And on today's episode, we're going to be discussing the smash hit Megabonk. So, another indie game seems to have hit it off. Gerard, fill us in a little bit about the rising success of Megabonk.
Uh, yeah, so Megabonk is a roguelike game that just came out recently, I believe last month. And I say last month as in the month of uh,
September.
early October or late September. Yeah.
Mhm.
Um, and it has hit smashing success. Uh, the game is very similar to Vampire Survivor or Hades if you ever played those kind of games, but the large popularity came from it not even through advertisements or marketing. It's all through word of mouth and social media advertising. So this is kind of a new indie game, once again making a large impact on the video game industry and becoming a large success in the same kind of window as Ghost of Yotei and Borderlands 4. So I don't understand how the gaming industry doesn't see this as another marketing success or learn anything from it. But it goes to show that Megabunk, that indie game that is now just being streamed a whole bunch, being spread out and created by only one dev, hitting a large popularity again. How do they fail? How do they succeed when other AAA companies fail? And again, this is only a 20-30 minute game and it's only $10. So,
I think that's part of it though. $10. I mean, compared to like the bigger games where you have to spend like nearly your, I won't say your savings, let's not go that far,
Ooh.
but
Well, let's be fair, Mike. I think it's you're more willing to take a chance on spending
on it,
$10 and not it not being a good game. I agree with Mike on that. Like,
like,
it, mhm.
and then if it does well, then you're just gonna just spread the word to your friend, but hey, it's
Yeah,
$10, why
yeah.
not? And then just kicked off. So I don't know if it's like I think that plays a factor. I don't think that like the big game or developer like needs to see something like this.
Mm.
It's just what you pay is what you get kind of thing, and the price
Well, they got more
is
than
re-
their money's worth if you think about it.
I mean 20-30 minute type of game. I mean, and something you could do pretty like quick, like just
Hmm.
a little spurt of fun, and then you could do other things afterwards. It's not time consuming. Like it's not like you need to like pause and
Hmm.
so I could see where
Appeal.
the fandom appeal.
Hmm.
And like I said, price is everything nowadays. You know that money is different nowadays, so everything's
Well,
expensive.
I mean, people trying it out, I could see it having a few sales, maybe a few 100,000 sales just for people just taking a chance on it. But it breaking over a million sales, like Gerard said, just over word of mouth in 2 weeks. AAA companies market their games all the time and can't even break that number.
yeah, yeah, obviously they're in the green. Like they
Yeah,
if you don't
way in the
spend
green.
any yeah, if you don't spend any money for advertising and you sell through word of mouth, like those a million copies are just going to one dev, but they're only going to the development time. Like he's being paid for his time for development and maybe very little for trying to spread out his message through YouTube or social media, but he didn't have to spend a dime hiring people. I say he, but the dev is I'm assuming it's a he cuz that's how they mentioned himself in social media. But as I was saying, didn't have to spend any money hiring people or spreading out the word for that matter. And honestly, I don't understand why AAA companies don't do sort of I don't want to say the same tactics, but I want to say the same kind of idea of putting effort into making sure people and this is going to be something I bring up often during this video. making sure that the people know about your game, have some say about the game. And that's something the developer for this game has done on his social media. If you look up on his YouTube, he actually would streamline or show like, hey, this is a comment I got on my previous video while I was developing the game. I'm going to show you me adding it to the game. And that
That's
right
pretty cool.
there shows, one, the dev is listening. Two, ideas from the community are not bad. But also, three, it also shows that this person is dedicated and passionate about his game, that he wants to improve the game. He obviously is taking consideration from outside sources on how to make his game better.
Can I say something? I
Yeah,
think what's good about that and everything the way you word it, he's treating the people that bought the game as his investors because basically they've invested in his game and he's listening to their feedback, willing to take into account their ideas and implement it and see if it works in the game. And if it's getting positive feedback, that's a good sign, and it seems to be. So I think that's pretty cool. Would like to see more AAA companies do that, but
never.
they
And a bigger scale, I don't think they could though. Like for this particular game, for this developer, he was afforded to be able to do it.
but
You
he's
know,
one
it's not like
person, Mike.
yeah, but
There's
still,
there's a lot of
but
people asking him and
but
giving
it's
him
being
ideas.
but he's able to do it because of what has been given. But I don't think a bigger scale game with a bigger, probably big budget could be able to please everybody or do the same thing in that
Don't
scope.
defend him, Mike.
I would
I'm not
say
Defend me.
defending, but
you're
I'm just saying that
you're
it's just
right, but Mike, the approach for larger games is called fucking beta testing, okay? That's the approach. That's
it's a,
He's
that's
like,
what
whatever
larger
you skip,
companies.
Mike, they just skip it every time, Mike. It's called
Yes.
beta testing.
Yes. QA testing. Like QA testing is to catch bugs, beta testing is to get feedback. Feedback on what the game needs.
Or what it should have, or maybe what. Hey, maybe you didn't think of this, but this probably would be cool.
Like I don't understand. Like, I understand bigger corporations not having the ability to take a whole bunch of feedback, right? But there are multiple like other companies, and I'm not even talking about just indie companies. I'm talking about like huge companies like Mihoyo, like excuse me, Genshin Impact, and Weathering Waves, and people like that, which will send out surveys and ask you, hey, what could we do to make this game better? And we will reward you for spending that time with something in game. Okay.
Mhm.
Why do not more companies do that? Like, and it makes sense, like, why gotcha games are like that, because gotcha games are 100% like dependent on people playing their game and buying stuff from their game because they're majority of the time free to play games. But if we can just take that mindset and put it to more games of and more like companies just asking, it's like, hey, we would ask, what would you like to see from us? That's all a company really needs to do. They don't even need to take advice. They just need to see the mindset that the people currently have and see if they can implement it or implement something like it.
So, how do you say this developer's name or his tag, so to speak? Venidad?
Vendidad.
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 been did that. I'm not gonna try to
Vendidad.
attempt.
Yeah.
There
The
is
creators and then
there is rumor,
Vendilad?
speculation.
Vendinad? Vendinad.
Vendinad.
You're
There
still
is
trying
I'll
to figure it
figure it
out.
speculation.
out.
Yeah,
I
there's
guess so.
speculation that this person is like Danny Dev. But fucking you guys don't know.
Danny
Uh
Dev?
Danny Dev
I was reading
is
something about that.
yeah, Danny Dev is someone who also made developments or games back in the day as a YouTube
Mhm.
channel as well. But he like
Mhm.
disappeared. So people are thinking that this is his return.
Well, here's something I wanted to mention because I'm looking at that, and we're talking about the AAA and one developer. We also had earlier in the year. Um, what was that one that was called again with the drugs and the killing and
Oh,
crazy nonsense?
Schedule One.
Schedule One. You had the success of Schedule One. Claire Obscure as well, and these were teams, low teams on both games. I think Schedule One was also one developer or something, a real small group.
It's probably a
I
small
don't
group.
think it was.
I would say
Um,
any indie game right now is probably less than like 30 people. Like safe bet.
Yeah. So I think something that's AAA companies need to pay more attention with, especially because they like to spend these high budgets for some reason, is that game. I'm looking at it, Megabonk, and it's not like
It's not. It's
graphically
no.
insane. It's nothing like,
No.
like I look like I'm playing a game from like
It's a
2006,
PS2. It's a
2005.
PS2
Yeah,
game. It has
yeah,
PS2
yeah.
graphics. It looks like I can see the graphics coming straight out of Spyro. All right, I
Mhm.
remember those graphics.
It's fine, bro. God. But yeah, you're right. Like, and it's fun. My like what I'm getting from this is the game is fun, it's catchy. Like Mike said, it's something you probably could play, a quick game to 30, 40 minutes, maybe 15 minutes, 20 minutes, depending on how long that runs. And you get entertainment out of it. And then, you come back to it a little later on in the day or to the next day or whatever,
or
whenever
you
you got
get
some time. In the morning.
or you get hooked and you just spend at
Oh,
run
yeah,
after
yeah.
run after run. And that's like how I'm going to reference something very old.
Hmm.
And I say very old, but like it's not old for I'm gonna shut up. Uh Call of Duty used to be like that. When you would like run it back
Yeah,
in a
yeah.
lobby and you're just like, all right, a game I know for a fact won't go beyond like 15
10,
minutes. Why?
15 minutes. Yep.
Yeah, because that's the time limit. That's the time of the match. And I'm playing either Team Deathmatch or Search and Destroy, whatever.
Mhm.
Doesn't matter. I know I'm going to play one game. It's going to be 10, 15 minutes, no longer than 20. And then I'm going to run it back. Why? Because that loop is so addicting and fun. And the gaming industry right now, AAA companies specifically, are missing that addiction portion. That like while like I would like to come back and keep playing that kind of loop. And I think this is like the kind of thing that cements it in my head that
Mhm.
indie games are always pushing it because they are thinking fun first. I like fun always first. Fun is always first. Like polish can be worked on and everything like that, but the game has to be fun first.
Hmm.
And I think
And
that's
playable.
yeah, well, and playable.
Can't be broken.
I was gonna say that's the bare minimum. The
Well,
bare
AAA
minimum needs
companies don't get the bare minimum, and they spend hundreds of millions of dollars.
yeah, and that's the problem.
But that's what I'm just saying. Like, this is. I'm just going back to what you were originally saying. Like, how can't they get? It starts to get like frustrating because it's like, dude, how do you not see this? Like, come on, like you guys get paid a lot of money. I'm sure you're smart in some way, somehow. Like, stop
That's
overthinking it. Stop overthinking it. Stop trying to complicate something that's simple. Like you said, first make it fun. Make sure it's playable, and then you build off of that. That's it. But no, I mean that's cool though. I'm glad another indie game is hitting, especially with this time of year too. Like you said, it came out around some big games that came out recently,
Mhm.
big AAA games. So
Yeah, like success in like around Borderlands 4, which is not not
hmm
truly getting other people, but also Ghost of Yote, even though like it has its own controversy behind it, still selling kind of well. And
yeah,
then
yeah,
Battlefield 6 came out recently as well, but like it came out
right.
like 2 weeks. Yeah, it came out 2 weeks before that, and so people were saving up to buy Battlefield 6, and yet they still were able to pick up this game and play it.
Y-
You know the reason why,
You're
and I think
assuming this is the
I
same
know.
player base though.
Well, I was going to say the reason why and I Mike brought this up earlier. It's a $10 game. Like
Mhm.
the investment into this game is not much. If I pick up the game and don't like it, guess what? I'll ask for a refund. If I pick up the game and enjoy it, but I don't play it that often, guess what? I don't feel bad. I only paid $10 for it.
So here's my thing. Like you said with AAA companies, how do they get this? Why do they keep introducing these prices of these games? If it's a good game and it's $50, you're gonna get a lot more people buying it than if it's 70, $80 and it's a half-ass game.
Yeah, I this is kind of like
I
what
think
people have been mentioning too. Mike, I think actually, you know what, Mike, I want to hear your thought because I think we're gonna say the same thing.
I I think there's just enough, and I think for the value, and I think there's enough players buying it at that price. If you were to, And there may be if they lower the price, more will buy. That's never, that's not necessarily true. There are loyal fan bases to these type of games, and it's big enough that they are willing to buy that game at that price, and it may be enough of the bottom line to match whatever price if they were to lower it. That's what I think. I don't. I mean, I'm pretty sure. I mean, could be all speculative, but I think that's the case and the reason why. And comparing to other systems or games, they're at the same price too. So if everybody's selling at the same price, why am I gonna try to sell it for cheaper?
So here, to actually piggyback off of that, Mike, video games are not produce, and I say that meaning when I go to the grocery store, and I see milk for $3.99, and I
That's a
see
dairy product, not produce.
if I
That
go
threw
and
me off.
see
It
cabbage
threw me
for
off.
$3.99, if we want to be, milk was the first thing that came to mind. I'm sorry, let me be consistent.
If
If,
tomatoes were 39 cents a freaking,
like,
come
like,
on.
let's, like you had
look,
me going with you, and then you threw me off. I was like, "What is this
I am,
analogy? This doesn't make sense.
I'm sorry.
Why am I
Some,
getting milk in the produce section?"
I mean, they're usually
Go
They're not.
on with your point.
anyway. If I go to a grocery store and I want one thing, right? Whatever the price is, I'm normally either gonna look at that or look at some other brand's price. That's how I would compare the two. Some people have brand loyalty, like some people will only get
Mhm.
Tropicana every time, but that's because they have a refined taste or they just like the taste for that product.
Mhm.
For video games, every video game is going to be different. I'm not expecting consistency when you're not selling me the same product. I am going to expect differences between, even if it's made by the same company, I'm expecting differences between a prequel and a sequel. That's why when people go like, "Hey, everyone else is doing it, why don't I follow that price hike?" And my retort is, because your game is different than their game. Your game is even different from every other game you've made. So when people tell me it's like, "Hey, the price hike for $70 is because games cost more." No. I mean, yes, games might cost more, but you don't price $70 for a game because it costs more because you don't know how many people are going to buy that game. You should be pricing the game for how much progress or how much work or what you think the game would sell for. And I think the industry right now is kind of jaded in that aspect because they're putting out $40, $50 worth games and saying it's $70 because $70 is the standard.
Premium
Obviously,
games.
yeah, obviously, we have no standard because standardization is basically dead at this point. Video games are not being made to be fun. They're made to be products. And at that point, you should not have an idea of what a price is for a game because your product sucks. And obviously, people, this loyalty to brands and things like that, this kind of needs to die because I think that's the reason why these companies are so jaded is because and we've heard it like kind of before and I don't remember where. I think Gio, you probably sent me a video about it, but I've heard that at this point they think that their fan base, the people that are loyal to them, are always going to buy the game no matter what, and
Mhm.
that's why they're going like, "Hey, we'll price it whatever because at the bare minimum, we'll get these guys to buy it," and they're
And you will.
playing us as chumps. And to be fair, a portion of them will. And
That's
it's
not true,
stupid.
Mike. You betray your customer enough times. Just ask Assassin's Creed and Ubisoft, the position they're in. You
I
can't
mean,
keep doing that.
but the question is how many times? Like, what's the bare minimum?
I don't
I
know.
think
I don't
that's
know. For other
what they're
people,
trying to do.
they need it to be like 5, 6 times because they're idiots. Once you show me that I'll give you two games, and two different games, like you said, because like I could play EA, two different type of EA games, right? I could play the racing games. I could play. If I see the similarity of both games being trash, all of a sudden I'm getting the same lower quality than what I'm accustomed to from you. Now I'm gonna take a step back, wait till that game gets released, hear the feedback from gamers before I think about even spending my money. And if I don't hear good things, I'm not spending my money. And that's what's starting to happen to a lot of these AAA companies. Because like, what's the big thing online right now? Nobody pre-order. Don't pre-order, right? Don't
That
give
is
them
it.
any money because you need to show us that you respect our money because our
Right.
money takes time to get. So in a way, you're showing that you respect our time because we worked for this money.
Well, some of us do. What about Mike?
What?
I mean, I
He'd be like this. He's like, yeah, I'm working, Geo.
yeah.
Watching anime on the side.
I mean, we've all been there. Those are the days.
No, you remote workers have been there. I haven't been there.
What are you talking about? I bet you. I don't know about recently, but I bet you money that sometimes at the office is slow. You just on TikTok. You just fucking scrolling.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, exactly.
Office. Now that I work an
Exactly.
office job. Now that I work an office job, that's different.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Uh-huh.
How
When
is
I
that
was in
different?
retail, I couldn't do that shit.
Well, retail is a different beast from any other industry. That's
Yeah,
just different.
that's what I'm saying. But yeah, that's I like seeing the indies because, like you said, it seems like a lot more passion and effort put into it, and a lot more respect for the consumer. So it's cool. I didn't know anything about it till you mentioned it, and I was like, huh, let me look it up. And yeah, sure enough, 1 million. That's a big deal. Once you hit that million mark, that's a big deal.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, without marketing, that's definitely a big deal.
Yeah, just word of mouth. That's insane. Imagine if the guy had a little marketing.
I mean, I paid marketing
Yeah,
because
that's what I
like
mean. Yeah,
this.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Paid, baby. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That's what I mean. Like actual paid marketing invested into the game. Not nothing crazy. Just give him, like $100,000 of marketing budget. Who knows? Maybe you get the game to 3, 4 million sales.
I think this is also kind of showing, and I know Mike mentioned this before. I think it kind of shows like the discrepancy of kind of pricing. Because this is what I was going to mention before. Was video games are now the pricing of that video game has now become one of the selling points of a game. If a
Hmm.
game is cheap enough, some people will be like, I could just buy this instead of I could buy 7 of these rather than buy one $70 game. Because
Yep.
AAA games are going up in price. If indie games go down in price, the people are going to like now want to rather buy 2 to 3 indie games and go through those and just wait for 1 to 2 AAA games to come out in a year and pick up those. AAA games are now going to need to be either there can't be a yearly Call of Duty. That's what I'm saying. They can't. They're gonna have to be more sparser with their releases because now people are only going to pick up one of those 2 games, and then the rest are going to be indie games. We might have an inversion of what people focus on.
Well, I think something that's hurting these major AAA companies right now too is, like you said, they got you. You want them to take some time between some of these games, uh, but I don't think they put enough smaller passion projects out to buy time to fill the gap. Because granted, I understand they got investors, they got to still meet quotas and numbers for each quarter, but you can't keep putting these high budgets into every title, expecting it to be a mega blockbuster hit. At some point, you got to understand we only have so much money to spend and only so much time. So you're killing yourselves at the same time by putting all this money and then expecting us to have the money to spend on it.
What do you think, Mike?
What, release smaller? I mean, it would definitely be beneficial, but I don't think it's necessary.
But
I don't know.
how they gonna fill the quota and buy time? Because like if they're
Well,
gonna
I mean,
space
if
it
you're
out,
gonna
like a Call of
if you're
Duty every 2-3 years, you need something in between those 2-3 years to make sure there's money getting generated. So you have to have some smaller projects that are not as big of spending.
I mean, the bigger risk is like you put it all on, when it comes out and you'll make the money that way. If you put a better quality product, if you're sparsing it, then you're basically putting all your eggs in one basket.
Yeah, that's not a good idea. that's, that's not a good idea.
I mean, but if
Not
you
when you
have
think
games
in
that,
business. How do you sell that to an investor?
I mean, yeah, but yeah, you're not gonna do it, especially like kind of nowadays. But you gotta have investors that gonna have a belief that the game
Yeah.
will pay off for the rest of the time that no games has been came out. Because seeing a same game every year like Madden was just, I mean, I stopped fucking stop playing Madden like
Mike, we get it. You're not happy with EA and the Madden game.
because it's just
Get
nothing.
so
It's nothing.
angry.
It's really nothing. But anyway, disregard. But every year you see minor improvements of the same game. It's like you get tired of it. So if
Or
you're
it gets
like,
worse.
or it gets worse, yeah.
That's
And
that's the worst thing. It's when it gets worse. You're just like you're making the same game. How can you make it worse?
Yeah.
You're
I
ma-
thought it's just copy and paste and then add something to it. How do you mess it
you
up?
think it'd be that easy? Copy and paste and just add new coding to
Well, is it Gerard? Can it be that simple?
I am not gonna comment because it varies differently. You could just copy and paste, but you have the
Mhm.
limitations of like being with older code, and that's the problem with like tech industry overall, just not just video games but just tech industry, is that it progresses so very quickly that anything you write application wise, code wise, website wise, anything like that is outdated 6 months from now. So
Well, a game that
anything
looks like 2006 is selling pretty well. So I'll take the
well
outdated coding if it's still fun.
yeah, exactly. And that's what I'm saying, like if copy and paste you could probably get away with if and add on to that, but at a certain point, it will become like bloated and then
Mhm.
become unmanageable. So
actually cop,
majority of the time. Oh, what were you gonna say?
copy and paste. I mean, basic and adding stuff. I mean, take WoW. I'm gonna just say take WoW for example. They have what I'm playing classic. They released a classic to vanilla, and they just added like different patches. So they are literally copying and pasting, but you know, different patches.
I'm just amazed that they could just do that. They could do a
and
classic and still
and
get people to play
oh,
it every time.
they're releasing the Burning Crusade again, but they're just copying and probably like adjusting the coding because different patches into it. So
It's
it's a
It
different
hurts. It hurts so
it's
much.
it's still a fun game, apparently, even with just
people
copy and
play it.
paste,
No,
you
people are playing
know?
it. It's crazy. 40-man raids.
Can you
I'm like,
can you
bro, I
can
can't
you
do that.
still update the graphics with the older
No,
coding though?
they came out with
No,
options
I'm
to
asking
actually
Gerard. I'm
Oh,
asking Gerard because, like, if we're talking about games like Madden, right? For instance, can they copy and paste last year and just upgrade the graphics without having to
not
really recode them?
not it depends. Depends on the engine. Because
Mhm.
when you code something, usually you are coding like memory addresses and things like that for like bytes and things like that. But majority of the time, some people it's easier to just like, hey, we'll put a new texture in and we'll keep the code, and that's perfectly fine depending on how you code it. But that comes with its own challenges based on the engine because like with Unreal, uh that is completely fine, but for Unity, you may have some collisions or collider boxes that don't line up with your textures and things like that. So it depends on how you code it, one, but two also depends on like what engine you're using.
Well, so let's say, okay, how long do you think? Because there's only what they're up to Unreal Engine 5 now.
Yeah, it's Unreal 5 and Unreal 6 is apparently coming out, I think, next year.
So,
I'll
but
check it
how
out.
many years in between these engines? So, one engine should last you a few years. You should be able to make a couple games on it of copy and paste in a couple years in a row and just upgrade the graphics. Am I wrong or not? I'm just asking. I'm just
Well,
saying.
it really So a lot of companies, and I say a lot of companies, a lot of games
Mhm.
have kind of like a twofold philosophy on that. They will commit to an engine, and even if a newer engine comes out, they'll stay with that engine. So like that way you get used to the engine and you gain, I don't want to say loyalty, but gain familiar. I can't say that word.
Familiarity.
Yes, thank you. Uh, with the engine so that you don't have to learn new things. And that's
Gotcha.
like a kind of a thing that's very useful. But you miss out on like new features and things like that from the new engine. Then there are other people who are always trying to be on the latest thing, latest engine, latest patch. Those are the ones that are trying to break edges or trying to push the envelope, which can fall flat sometimes, but can also do wonders. A good example is Claire Expedition 33. That one was on Unreal 5 because it was latest. But there are other games like Duke Nukem who were always trying to get on the new engine and kept failing every time, and then the game ended up falling flat because of it.
But to
So
be
it's a double-edged
fair,
sword.
Claire Obscure took how many years? So they probably gained some familiarity while they were developing it
Well,
over those years.
engines can be like Unreal people, or excuse me, still there are companies out there still using Unreal Engine 4. Like
I believe it.
so it's
That
Yeah.
not
game was probably made on Unreal Engine 4.
nah, that one's
That,
made on Unity.
oh, it is?
I know. I know. It looks like it was made on Unity.
Gerard's like, no, I can tell. That's Unity.
um but there is a kind of uh aspect because code is so robust that you
Mm,
can do a lot with it. You can make it really compatible with anything, or you can really get strict with it and make it only work one particular way. And it really depends on the dev and how they integrate that in. So Madden could be copy and paste, but also Call of Duty could be rebuilt every year. That's the kind of like narrowness that coding can be and video games can be. I'm pretty sure Call of Duty is not made new every year, just copy pasted, but still, that's the what I'm trying to show for it.
I don't know about 7. That don't look copy and pasted.
Oh, it's copy and pasted. Copy and pasted the reviews from 6 to 7. It's like all the bad reviews get pasted over here.
All the negative reviews, just put them over here and add more. Bang.
Exactly. You guys have any final thoughts on Megabonk?
Nah, nah, that's cool. I like seeing the indie games being successful, man. I don't know,
Rooting for the underdog.
yeah, exactly. You know what? These AAA companies want to keep trying to screw us and just bankrupt the people. Fuck them.
Exactly.
I'll play indie games.
Well, that's it from us. Make sure you like and comment down below on your thoughts on Megabonk and this recent success on indie games, and whether or not this will be the final nail in the coffin for AAA companies, or if they'll even learn anything. Maybe someone out there will make a school for these CEOs so that they can learn something. All right, that's it from us. We'll see you guys next time. Peace.
Peace.